getting grown up in here, right? 25 and up. Let me see your ID, baby. Yeah. Nobody move till we say so. It's that 3D radio with TJ Digger and Lady Flow. Real talk on 3D radio. Dress for success, so it's never fail. Grow delivery, so call it Gmail. Stay logged on till it's time to bail. Adults only, so now it's set sail. Don't act like you ain't heard what I said. Go on, little mama, put the kids to bed. Live on the net, you know it don't stop. Time to get loose like you do the wild. Need some advice, you know who we be. Relationship University. So like Marvin on the Mercy Knees. And on the intro, you know it's Big D's. We came here to blow your mind. Caught up like the folks that's on the crime time. Clap your hands cause it feels so amazing. This another TJM creation. Nobody move till we say so. It's that 3D radio with TJ Digger and Lady Flow. Real talk on 3D radio. Nobody move till we say so. It's that 3D radio with TJ Digger and Lady Flow. Real talk on 3D radio.
A lot of the time I realize that other cultures kind of get this. I need you to hear me. Other cultures tend to get this. And when I say other cultures, I'm talking about white culture, Indian culture. I'm talking about other cultures other than African Americans. And a lot of the time what happens is you're mistaking the playboy for a husband and you're trying to marry a playboy instead of marrying a husband. And that's a lot of women don't realize this. A lot of women don't realize this. And this is why you continue to have such horrible dating experiences, because you could be sitting there ignoring the husband material, ignoring the man that is already put you in his forever category. A man will sleep with you, hang out with you, Netflix and chill with you, and you are not his type at all, but he enjoys the sex, he enjoys your company, he enjoys the fun. And now as a woman, you've put this type of man into the husband material. They looked at the playboy and said, he just wasn't the one, he wasn't faithful, he wasn't ready to settle down. But Rebecca, as a matchmaker, I want you to find me the man who looks like Mr. Playboy, who wants to be loyal and faithful to me and committed to me, and find me my husband, but I want him to look like Mr. Playboy and act like Mr. Playboy. And that's when I stopped matchmaking. Hello, this is Rebecca Lynn Pope coming on real quick. You guys know that I have been swamped lately, but I promised I would come on and just share my viewpoints on why women are many women, I'm not going to say all women, but many women are very, very unrealistic about their standards for men, dating, and marriage. So I'm going to give my opinion on this. And now listen, girls, I'm about to be very raw. I'm about to be very real. I'm about to just shoot it to you as just straight as I can because I'm hoping that this helps somebody. Because as you girls know, I'm a matchmaker. And for a large part of the end of last year and beginning of this year, I stopped matchmaking. And the reason I stopped matchmaking is because I literally was I can't handle female clients. I was a matchmaker that matched females, and I had a few male clients, but predominantly I was matching women. And listen, it was such a valuable lesson for me because what I learned is that the average woman doesn't really want just a good man. She doesn't want a husband. What she's really wanting are these standards or ideas that she has of what a man is supposed to be. But this is nothing what men are. This is not realistic for who men are, how they think, what they value. It's just this preconceived, idea that women have of who men should be. But this is not reality, okay? So literally, the standards here that I see consistently in women that stay single, do not get married, and the difference between women and wives is understanding, one, that men are not women. He's not going to be your best friend like your best girlfriend. You can't talk to him like that. They don't talk like that. They don't talk that much. They're not so sensitive and girly the way we are as women. So if you're expecting a man to be all super sensitive and so considerate and just so everything like your girlfriends, you're barking up the wrong tree. He's going to hurt your feelings all the time, or else you're going to feel like he doesn't communicate because you're holding these standards like he's a girl. I'm sorry. Leave that to your gay guy friends, or leave that to your bestie guys that talk kind of like girls. Your man that you're going to marry is not going to be like that, right? The second standard is this. You're comparing good men to, I can't say this, F-boys. I'm just going to say it. You're comparing good men to the men that you've experienced previously who were not ready to be husbands, that you were just dating, messing around with. I mean, literally, there's a distinct difference between marriage material, men who are ready to be husbands, and these F-boys that you've been messing around with in and out of these situationships with for years. And so now you have this standard for a man and a husband based on these dudes that have just been playboys, fun, boy toys, whatever you want to call it, girls, okay? You can call it whatever you want. But now you set this standard to say he's supposed to look like this, he's supposed to act like that. Oh, you know what? He's too corny. He likes me too much. He texts me too much. Yeah, because the men that you were messing with, you weren't even the only one. They don't text you right back. They don't call you right back because they have 8 more just like you. So a man comes along that is crazy about you and is interested in you. And I'm sorry to say, you have friend zoned the men that really you're compatible with, the men that would make a wonderful husband. A lot of you have friend zoned the good dude who's ready to be a husband and a father and give you some pretty babies. Because the other thing is men do not look like us. Let me be clear about this. We are the fairer sex. God created us to be beautiful, not men. One, I have gotten in trouble before for saying black women who want to exclusively marry black men. We are in the middle of a crisis. Black men are in crisis. And anybody who denies that black men are in crisis is ignoring the data, the science, the research, the statistics. it is not a figment of your imagination that there are not enough eligible black men to marry. You are not imagining that. It is real. By the time, and like I said, I'm going to take my time with this. By the time you take that black people are only 11% of the population, black men being half of that 11%, by the time you remove the gay men, by the time you remove the mass incarceration, that when you see the populations of these prisons, and it is predominantly black men that are, these prisons are full of black men. Full. At an exponential rate compared to our percentage of society. We're only 11% of the population, but the prisons are full of black men. You take out the men who are already married. You take out the men who are on the down low gay, pretending to be straight, but ain't never going to marry a woman. Or if they do, they're bearding, faking, fronting, whatever. Inside of the still group of eligible black men in the dating pool, you still now, under heterosexual black men who are not married and who are not gay and who are not in prison, are still going to be your gold tooth, pants sagging dudes who have 0 sense. That's still inside of that number. Black men have come at me when I say there's not enough eligible men, and they push back at me. But one of the things I've realized about good black men is that you don't realize that, first of all, there's not a gazillion more like you. I've noticed this even with my husband. There's a lack of awareness around what is eligible and the availability of black men. My husband thinks so many men are just like him, that there's just really a bunch of Carrie Popes running around that are solid, hard-working, intelligent, marriage material, mature, grown men who want to be responsible and want to build a family. And I'm like, Carrie Pope, no. So ladies, by the time you take out the rappers, the gold teeth, the sagging pants, the young ones who just ain't even ready for marriage, now you got a whole other demographic of black men who have sworn off black women. Whole movements created to completely giving up on black women. Completely. That black women are not marriage material and that black women are not wife material. Not all of black men, but there's a percentage of black men who feel that way. And all these daggone gender wars on social media, and all the men who are beefing in, they've been hurt by 2 black women in their life, and now they're writing off all black women. And black women don't do that. Black women been dogged by black men, drugged by black men, completely ran over and heartbroken by black men, but still don't give up on black men. Black men, on the other hand, whole demographic of black men just giving up on black women. There are Facebook groups of black men who are dedicated to hurting black men who want to blame black women for all their problems, as if a white woman or a Latino woman, somebody who don't want you, by the way, are going to deal with your shenanigans and craziness because they got even higher standards. Because their culture raises them to have higher standards than black women. So you got to step up in order to even date a white or other woman, because their culture teaches them to marry into financial security for a man to be a provider and protector. It's in their culture. So I'm in the gym the other morning. I'm on the treadmill. Black men working out all around. I look, I'm paying attention. A good third to half the black men I see in the gym are gay. Ladies, and that's not my imagination. Everywhere I look, it is gay black men. It doesn't matter why. We can talk about why. You can go into all the whys, ladies. It doesn't matter. I'm on the phone with my therapist this week. I'm saying to her, I've never been more happy. I'm in such a great place. So much peace and balance, and Carrie pays 95% of the bills. I've never been in a place where I did not have the financial pressure. I am provided for and taken care of. I still work, but I'm not under the pressure I was previously. And I said, Dr. Pam, that's my therapist. Dr. Pam, is this how white women feel? When a man is paying all the bills? I've never been here before. I'm just being honest with y'all. I've been 50-50. I've done my part. I've done more than my part. Y'all have been in course with me. I've been honest. I've paid 90% of the bills. I've been paying all the bills at times in different marriages. I've been in all the different situations. It's the first time in my life that a man is taking care of me. Thank you, Carrie Anthony Pope. But I said, this is the reality for a lot of other women. This is the reality for a lot of Latin women, a lot of white women. This is what it feels like to not have the financial burdens of a household on you. Right now, I'm at my best. I don't wake up stressed. I'm able to lean into my feminine. I am cooking and healthy and watching, monitoring the things in the family, helping to take care of Carrie with his health and his food, and I'm ease and flow, and things are just so amazing. And I began to think, and my therapist said to me, she says, Rebecca, you are experiencing something that very few black women will ever experience. You are experiencing what very few black women will ever experience. This is from my therapist. My therapist is in her 50s. She's been a therapist for over 30 years. She is so experienced, so wisdom, knowledge, woman of God. She's amazing. And if you reverse engineer what she's saying, ladies, she's saying to you what I'm saying. If you are a black woman and you want to be married and you want to lean into your feminine and you want to be more provided for, not to say you don't work, you guys know how hard I work. My money is now going into investments. My money is able to go into savings. We're able to do so much more with my money if Carrie's paid 95% of the bills. It's a partnership. But if you are a black woman right now, you watch this video on YouTube and you decide that I really do want to be married, Rebecca. One, this is what I said the other night in class. Please pray and open your heart to ask God to help you go beyond dating black men.
Ladies, stop moving in with these men. You meet a man, he's broken emotionally, physically. You take your time to heal him. You cook for him. You clean for him. You love on him. You pray for him. You even spend some of your money on him. He's whole and healed, and he said, bye. You have nothing to show for it.
To all the men out there who seemingly have like some type of issue with single mothers, Usually it's black men, because black men are the only ones who seem to have a difficult time with, caring for someone other than themselves. And a lot of times they don't have the resources to be able to take care of their own damn children. So why in the world would they take care of another man's? One guy said he likes to sit there and watch women make mistakes with other men because, women choose poorly. And I was thinking to myself, what a way to not take accountability and to show the world that you lack leadership skills. You are part of the problem, sir. Why haven't you tried to lead any of the women inside of your community? Black men blame black women for damn Hurricane Katrina. Then you wonder why we're walking around here wanting to control everything. If we are going to take responsibility and accountability for the brokenness of the black community, then we have to start taking control. No wonder you can't get no women to submit to you, sir. You in your feminine energy.
She did it. It wasn't me. It's the black single mothers who were abandoned with a child. They're the reason why the community is the way that it is.
Did it ever occur to you, boneheads, that you look at your male counterparts and high-five them for abandoning women with children, and then you turn around and criticize these same women for taking responsibility and actually raising their kids instead of walking out of their kids' lives? Y'all are stupid.
The only one that's really having this conversation amongst themselves is black men. Because black men, generally speaking, are at the bottom of the totem pole. The black man here does not want to be competitive in this world. He wants to be underneath every other race of people on earth, because every other race of people here on earth, they take care of business, they take care of their households, and they take care of their kids. They're the head of the household. But in his world, he wants to be 50-50 or even less than a woman. And that's part of the reason why he says a black woman is too masculine, because he's too feminine.
We try to act like the way sisters treat us doesn't have a history.
The way sisters treat us, keep that in mind. That's what he said.
That we are not at least partly responsible for.
And yes, I agree. As men, we are responsible for these dysfunctional women. But at the same time, these women say, or they want to be looked at as adults. And what actual adults do is we evolve and grow and we change our behavior. So are you ladies going to change your dysfunctional behavior, or are you going to stay the same? That's the question.
Let's be honest. The black woman has had to hold down the black house by herself.
She did not have to hold down the house by herself, because she chose to have babies by random dudes that didn't marry her. So this is a choice. She wasn't forced to be independent. She wasn't forced to hold down no house. You, ladies, decide to have fatherless babies, and now you want to play victim when the loser you had a baby with ain't around no more. This is a choice.
Although imperfectly, she's had to do it by herself since the mass incarceration of black males began in the 1970s. So when his sister says, I don't need a man, because she couldn't find one strong enough to hold her down. Or when you meet a woman and you say, sister, I'm strong enough to be your man. You ain't got to work, or you ain't got to pay the bills or whatever. Pull back. I got you. And she can't do it because all the other men before you. And she can't do it because all the other men before you. And she can't do it because all the other men before you who disappointed her.
All the men before you disappointed her. One thing I don't understand about women versus the rest of the entire world, whether it's an animal, whether it's a rock, things evolve. People evolve. Animals evolve. Amoebas evolve. An example of evolution. Do you know polar bears actually weren't white at first? They evolved. So now they won't die of starvation because being the same color as the snow helps them hunt better. Evolution. But for some reason, women are the only entities on the planet that don't evolve. They just keep doing the same stupid crap over and over and over and over again. When he said, after disappointment after disappointment, why is it that women are the only people that get worse after disappointments? Do you realize sports, every sport is literally built off of disappointments and failures? You don't win the Super Bowl. You miss the game-winning shot. You don't make the playoffs. You don't make a touchdown. Do you know how happy players are when they simply get a first down when they catch the ball? A first down. They still failed because they did not make it in the end zone, but they're still happy because they progressed. They evolved. So the rest of the world understands that, one, life is about disappointments. But the second side of that, which the rest of the world knows, which the rest of the world understands, except for women, that when you fail, your job is to learn from what happened and better yourself. Women don't do that. They just continue to get worse and worse and worse while the rest of the world gets better and better and better. That part is sad. And yes, I agree. As men, we are responsible for these dysfunctional women. But at the same time, these women say, or they want to be looked at as adults. And what actual adults do is we evolve and grow and we change our behavior. So are you ladies going to change your dysfunctional behavior, or are you going to stay the same? That's the question. I guess we just got to deal with y'all being dysfunctional, right? The 1970s, that's the reason why we're dysfunctional. This is sad. And even though I understand what Dr. Umar Johnson is saying, it's still destructive because it gives women a feeling of, see, it's not my fault. So I can continue to just jump around and run around like gremlins tearing up the city and having fatherless babies. Because that's really what it is. Women are running around having fatherless baby after fatherless baby after fatherless baby. And after they have their fatherless baby, what do they do next? Blame all their issues and problems on men. But if we're going to take the blame, which we will, you got to do the work when we tell you to get your shit together. That's the part that y'all don't want to do. It's two-sided. Yes, it's our fault, but it's your fault for staying the same way while the rest of the world is evolving. So when you hear in this video what Dr. Umar is saying, what he's actually doing, which is destructive, is giving already dysfunctional and masculine women an excuse to continue being dysfunctional and masculine. Now, if you can't find a good man and you can't depend on a good man, I understand, because a lot of men out here are trash. But no matter what is going on around you, you can't show up like trash just because men are treating you like trash. Because if you're trash, you can't get mad at men being trash. When is somebody going to wake up and say, I'm going to do better? It gives dysfunctional masculine women the right to be dysfunctional and masculine. And you same dysfunctional masculine women are going to run around complaining it ain't no good men out here. You ain't no good woman. And you just admitted it, how you floating around the video like, ooh, see, this is why we're dysfunctional masculine. But are you going to get therapy so you won't be dysfunctional masculine? The answer is no. That's the problem. Even though I totally agree that it is our fault, one thing I'm not going to do is excuse you for being dysfunctional masculine. Get your ass some therapy or stay away from us.
Danielle, it's women like you, baby. It is women like you. Settling? What would she be settling for? A man that get up and go to work every day? Who's to say that one job is better than the next job? Everybody deserves respect. A job is a job. It don't matter if that man work at McDonald's. What if it's men out here that's settling for ungrateful women that don't got no respect for them and don't know their value? How about a lot of black men are settling? And I'm here to tell them today, don't settle. But I'm not going to keep explaining. You're not going to understand clearly. You a grown woman. If you don't understand by now, I don't know what to tell you, but I'm going to pray for you. I said what I said. And my name is Shalakemia.
Today, we champion the black men who've taken the reins of their lives, leading the way in family, finance, and purpose. Their own unique F.F.P. We're here to uplift and to highlight the black men whose personal brands shine, illuminating the best within our community. The essence of our community lies in the power of dependability, of being useful and consistently exuding confidence, intelligence, and assertiveness. That's the man we're here to celebrate. A man who truly embodies a meaningful, accountable nature. A true man. But our praise doesn't stop there. We raise our hats to the black women whose public and private actions beautifully mirror the strength and grace of our black men. Together, they weave the vibrant fabric of our community. Now let's celebrate the mantra that binds us. Dare to be bold, not silent. That's our rallying cry here at the Real Bravado Network. We're all about character, personal growth, and fostering a culture of accountability, all framed by this bold mantra. Our name, Real Bravado, represents our spirit, the essence of being truly bold. And that's our mission for every live stream, every conversation we have. So, let's dive into this journey together. And remember, we're here to be real, to be bold. Let's start this conversation, folks. Welcome, everyone, to our exciting live stream, here on RBN, your trusted Real Bravado Network. This is your moment, your space. This is Have the Conversation. And every black man, start your day with 3 words. I'm a king.
I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king and I will never knew. Plotting for my fall, you getting hanged for treason. I don't aim to please, do anything I feel. Haters gonna talk, don't listen to the shit. They tryna be like me, they know they can, yo. Can't even get close, I'm on a pedestal, sitting on my throne. My neck be decked in gold, I don't do no hoes, I've got a queen though. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king, I told you guys before, ready for the war, to get me way much more. Gather all this poise, add them to my kingdom. Shout out to my fans for pledging your allegiance. You get a reward, the best flow you've ever heard. I don't be mixing with birds, I'm a lion on the surge. Always pushing to the edge, facing arrows, never scared. For my greatness I'm a servant, only under myself. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in.
All right, we are back. We are back. We are back. All right, for those of you, let me cut this. Let me cut this. Yeah, let me cut this. There we go. I do love my theme song. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Those of you that are watching, let me just say right off the rip, I'm going to apologize because I am going to have to cut my stream short, which means I will, everything I plan, I'm actually going to pick up on another day and do another day. But there's one piece of this that I just really want to get out and get off real quick. And then I need to actually cut and run. And I really hate to do that. No one should ever do that, especially when you had to come over. But sometimes, life gets in the way. But let's get it rocking. Welcome everyone to the Real Bravado Network, your RBN, your reliable hub for the bold and not silent. We're streaming live. Thank God. My name is TJ, and I'm your facilitator on this journey. And this is Have the Conversation. We exist for one purpose over here, one purpose and one purpose only, and that's to amplify the voices of Black men that are focused on family, finance, and purpose. I call that the Black man's F.F.P, family, finance, and purpose, which is the core of manhood. We're here to celebrate Black men whose personal brand just encapsulates the best of us. Men who are dependable, who are useful, and who are consistent. Those who dare to live up to a true definition of what being a real man is. Man is nothing more than an acronym. Man stands for a guy who has a meaningful, accountable nature. That is a real man, and don't let anyone else define your manhood. If you have a meaningful, accountable nature, you are a man. And a real man is a CIA, a fella who is confident, intelligent, and assertive. So put all that together. A man is a fellow who has a meaningful, accountable nature, who exhibits confidence, intelligence, and is assertive. Notice I didn't say aggressive. I said assertive. So, and let's not forget our women, the Black women who stand with us, whose public and private conduct resonates with the best aspects of Black men. And our mantra, RBN's mantra, we dare to be bold and not silent, here on the Real Bravado Network, which is and over here, character, personal development, and accountability is absolute. Okay. Now, the last month or so, I've been talking about, and I'm a little bit behind because everybody's talking about this whole mess with Dr. Umar Johnson, and I will actually get to that, but not today. But Dr. Umar Johnson, has pissed off a lot of brothers, boy, and ladies got another. Our ladies got another cheerleader for their dysfunction. So we'll get to that another day. But I want to put a button on this whole concept, this whole notion of Black men not having ambition. And one of the things that I really wanted to talk about is what does ambition look like, and when does it start? And for a lot, I'm gonna be honest with you, for a lot of men, that spark of ambition starts at different phases, or may start at different phases of life. But for a lot of men, that spark of ambition starts pretty early. And you have to know what you're looking at in order to recognize it. And a lot of our women talk about Black men lack ambition, and I just get so sick of hearing, a lot of brothers should be sick of hearing our women just straight up dragging us, just constantly dragging us. And the fact of the matter is, most of our women don't even know us, don't see us, don't talk to us, don't speak to us, ignore us. That's what they do. And they base their opinions about Black men on the men that they interact with, and the men that they have children with, and the men that their mothers and their aunties and their friends, that all of them deal with. They deal with these trifling ass men, and then base an opinion of Black men based on the scallywags that they decided to deal with, which is not fair. And which Black men understand it's not fair, but those men do not represent the overwhelming majority of Black men, because I've said this time and time again on multiple streams, Black women cannot see the vast majority of Black men. We are invisible to them. Black women on a regular basis talk about how they got all of these options. They have all of these options. These options are, I don't lack men options for men. There are plenty of men who want me, but they never answer the other question. Our sisters with all of these options, our sisters, over 75% of them are unmarried, but you got all of these options, but no one asks the other question, which is this: if you have all of those options, among those options, which one of them do you actually want? And the answer is often none of them. So if you got all of these options and you don't want any of those options, what the hell does it matter if you have options, if you don't want those options, if those options, all of those options got a problem that you don't like or don't measure up to whatever crazy standard that you got? Because you have all of these options, but all of our women are by them damn selves, meaning unmarried. I mean, our women can get fucked and plowed. That's easy. And I still can't believe at this stage of my life that I hear women talk about attention, like attention means that you have been selected, or that some man that you actually like have selected you and want you. So we get tossed under the bus with the low lives that you do end up with and the bums you do have your children with. And we get tossed in with them jokers, and then got the nerve to wrap around and talk about black men are not ambitious enough. But where does ambition start? Where does it start for black men? I got my brother, Mr. Terrell Key. Mr. Terrell Key is a high school principal. I am going to drop his channel in the chat, and go check him out. The brother is special. But Terrell Key, I sent him a story, and he did this story on his channel, and we're gonna play it, and we're gonna talk about this story just a little bit. Okay, hold on a second.
I just want to get right to it, man. I want to get to the point today. Man, sometimes people can't see the hustle, can't see the ambition inside of people because of the color of their skin. Like this video, man, I'm about to show you. You know, like we always talk about, you know, like black boys and like what they're doing in school or in the community and stuff like that. But like sometimes, man, like, you know, like the drive, the ambition, like, I mean, every kid is not the same. Every black kid is not the same. Every white kid is not the same. Every human is not the same. But man, this boy, man, you know, from St. Louis, from my home city, and like for this 8th grade graduation, you know, like a lot of times, man, we act like some of these kids don't think that school's important, or because you're from a poor background, like you can't care about school or whatever. But that's just simply not true, man. I want to show a short video, man, of this young man. He walked 6 miles, man, in the heat to attend his 8th grade graduation. Didn't want to bother his grandparents, man. His grandparents' his grandfather's car was down. So he got his friends together, got a little bit of water, and they walked for hours to attend this graduation. This is 8th grade graduation that many teachers might assume didn't mean that much to him, but it meant everything to this child. So let me pull him up real quick, man, because I want y'all to see this young man and just
real quick. Terrell says something there, Mr. Key, the high school principal, Mr. Terrell Key says something very important there. He said that the young man had his grandfather in his life. I just want to point that out.
see him for who he is, man. Like sometimes, man, like we get so lost, man, in like demographics and putting everyone into a box. But you can't put everyone. I mean, some people don't belong in a box, man. And like this young man is one of them. But here we go.
What does hope look like for you?
I mean, if you want something done, you gotta go ahead and do it yourself.
Xavier Jones is determined not to allow the obstacles in his path stop him from walking in his purpose. What do you think is the biggest problem when it comes to, St. Louis and taking care of African American students like you?
The gun violence.
The 14-year-old lives in North City, and when he did not have a ride to his 8th grade promotion ceremony,
I was going to tell an adult, but my grandpa car is down, so yeah, I was just gonna walk there.
unbeknownst to his grandfather, Xavier came up with a plan.
I looked up Harrisville University on Google Maps, and then I saw walking distance. I said I can probably make it.
Recruiting his
And Google Maps, like, I mean, this young brother, man, like, it's not like he had a cell phone or anything like that. He went old school. Google Maps, man, found his way there, man. 6 miles away, walking in danger, in a very dangerous area in St. Louis, because this meant something to him. Didn't want to bother anyone else. This meant something to him.
His brother and friend to help him make the 2.5-hour, 6-mile trek from Florissant Avenue to his graduation at Harris-Stowe State University.
I wanted to walk on the stage.
And Xavier did just that. Getting his diploma and the steps leading to that moment would change the course of his education.
How did you keep yourself motivated? What were you thinking during that 2 hours?
About getting something to drink.
Many of our students come.
Did you hear that? Let me go back just for a split second. What were you thinking about when you were walking?
To drink.
Many of our
You just
students
wanted
come.
Hours.
About getting something to drink.
Many
The
of
only
our
thing he was worried about, man, is he knew he needed something to drink because it's hot.
students come with the story, and many of our students come with environmental barriers that they have overcome or that they are currently overcoming.
Harris-Stowe President Dr. LaTanya Collins-Smith presented Xavier with a full ride to the university. Tuition, books, and fees all paid for.
I just led with my heart, and I followed my heart, and my heart said, this is a kid that needs a scholarship.
On Wednesday, the teen got...
And I'm telling you, man, like, that kind of drive, that kind of determination, that's going to lead to him doing something great with that money, man. Like, you can't fake that type of drive. You can't fake that type of efficacy. Like, like, he's able to take care of himself, man. 14 years old, walking far, 6 miles through the city.
Got to see the school for himself on a personal campus tour.
This is a future hornet. Perseverance, determination, grit.
A student with a story.
At the end of the rainbow, there's a pot of gold. And so I learned a lot from Xavier that day. Even on your worst day, keep pressing forward.
Turning a new page as a high schooler this fall at Lift for Life Academy.
So Lift for Life is a charter school. So he's going to go to a charter school. And I'm sure they're gonna take great care of him there.
Another chapter in Xavier's walk through life.
But yeah, so I mean, like I said, man, like when teachers, like when you look at some
Let me see.
these young boys, man, like, and see Xavier and
okay, real quick, I'm gonna let that roll. This young man, Xavier, this is the birth of ambition. For those of you who have no idea what it's like to be in the spring and summertime in St. Louis, my God, how hot it's a landlocked state with no water around it, and it's almost like living in Arizona at times. Now, I mean, it's a kind of an extreme example because Arizona be getting like 112, 120 and stuff like that, but it gets hot. And this young man who finished his 8th grade year, he did not have a ride to or from. And if you noticed, the young brother wasn't even dressed up. He had on a black hoodie, put on his pants, put on his backpack. In 2 hours, a 2-hour walk. There are things in life about ambition in relation to men There are times where there's something that inspires ambition. Sometimes there is a flashpoint that jump off to ambition, and then there are those who are born with it. This young man, Xavier, 14, I believe, 8th grade, is born with it. This is what the birth of ambition looks like. Now, however this young man's life turns out, whatever decisions he makes, he has all of what I call the good stuff. He has what it takes to develop into a man that deserves respect, honor, and the woman who would appreciate him. This young man has no idea that at the current trajectory of our women and the girls around him, in the homes that these girls are growing up in, that some chick when he's 27 or 30 is going to look him in the face because he decides. Most black men, when they go to college, they bring their education and their skill set back to the community. They reinvest their skill set, their knowledge, their education into some kind of community-based position. Most black men do not go out here and become these $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 a year, $1 million a year men. The vast majority of black men reinvest themselves back into their community, and one day some broad is going to look him in the face and tell him, because he decides, oh, he wants to be a caseworker at a community center, or he wants to be a teacher, and his salary is only $60,000 or $55,000 a year, that this young man does not have ambition. This is the birth of ambition. And it's offensive and it's scary to know what he's going to have waiting for him when it's time for him to start picking his own family. If this brother at 20, let me tell y'all something. Because the out of marriage birth rate for black people is so out there. By the time this brother's 27, 28 years old, there will not be a black woman that he can start his own family with. But the expectations of our women is that he pick up somebody else's trash and make that particular woman a whole woman, provide her a validation, and then take care of somebody else's responsibility. Paging Dr. Umar Johnson, who thinks that black men are obligated to take care of somebody else's problems. And black men, what our women do not understand about our black men is that our black men are willing to do what no other race of men is willing to do at the rate we're willing to do it, and that's come in, legitimize you, take on your children, and die for you and some other niggas' kids. Remember Ebony K. Williams' criticism of the bus driver, implying that he lacked ambition for not aiming to own one? Hold on a second. We're gonna get right to it. Let me drop this. Let me just remind you.
Also are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs, along with Latina women in America. Pew Research said that women are now out-earning men yes. in 22 of the largest cities in America, including where I live, New York, DC, LA, you name it. When we talk, and I know that you've said that you cannot teach a man or tell a man how to be a man. So I will not ask you to indict men in this question. But I do want you to speak, Ayanla, to how women need to, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build, when some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
That whole narrative that she's implying that black women out earn their men and that black men are not suitable because black women are out earning black men. That whole damn narrative has been debunked. When you look at us as a group, black women earn about $34,000 a year. Black men earn $45,000. Last time I checked, 45 was larger than 34. But what she's talking about is a luxury lifestyle. She's talking about that every single person deserves a luxury lifestyle. And if you are a black man who cannot provide a luxury lifestyle, then you're failing. Then you're not ambitious enough. This old busted broad is on here talking like this. And this was a woman who's, I'm not saying she ugly, but she an old busted broad, 40 years old. She had a white man who was engaged to her, and she fucked it up by getting bent out of shape because he wanted to go spend time with his kids in the height of COVID, and she got beside herself about that because that man wanted to prioritize his children. Now, if that was a brother, she probably could have got away with the crap because most of our brothers are accustomed to being browbeat to death by the women in our family because all of us have been raised by a queen mother. But that white man was more than happy to show her the door. And where's her high-value man now? And that man was a multimillionaire. Where's her high-value man now? Look at the damn scowl on her face. Is this what Xavier is going to have to look forward to when he gets to be a man? A woman with a scowl on her face because that man could not provide a luxury lifestyle. This is what that 8th grade young man who walked 2 hours in 90-degree weather to attend his graduation, he has to look forward to some woman calling him not ambitious enough, but he had enough in him to go, I earned my right to matriculate into high school, and they're celebrating us. And despite the fact that my grandfather doesn't have a car, despite the fact that my mother couldn't do it, despite the fact that my father couldn't do it, I'm going to strap up, boot up, get me some water, and walk those 2 hours to my graduation because I did it. And guess what happened with that ambitious young man? He got awarded a scholarship to Harris Stowe University. If you don't know what Harris Stowe is, look it up. It's an HBCU. Harris Stowe's claim to fame in St. Louis, Missouri is the fact that they crank out teachers. Harris Stowe cranks out more teachers than the state universities here. The vast majority of your teachers, white and black, got their education from Harris Stowe, a historically black university. Look it up. And this heifer got the nerve to sit up here. This heifer got the nerve to sit up here with a scowl on her face. And that 14-year-old boy is gonna have to sit around. You know, he's gonna have to sit around one day and look across a woman with a scowl like that on her face, talking about he not ambition because that young man decides he wants to be a teacher and he's gonna max out at $55,000 a year and he's giving back to his community, and a broad like that's gonna tell him, you ain't got enough ambition because you can't buy me a Bentley. And by the way, Bentleys, Mercedes, BMWs, all those luxury cars, Range Rovers, I'm a car guy. They're pieces of junk. They just look pretty. They look pretty, and on the inside, a bunch of junk, just like Ebony K. Williams. But ask her at her bum-busted ass, 40-year-old ass, where's her high-value man at now? I mean, she had a white man. She had a white man, a high-value white man. She had the pinnacle that sisters talk about. Where the fuck is he now? She was engaged to the Joker. And she rolled her I can do bad all by myself, Tyler Perry, half light-skinned ass attitude to that white man, and he showed her monkey ass the door. The birth of ambition starts with that young man that I showed earlier, Xavier, as an 8th grader. Some men, they're born with it. Some men, there's usually, and this is more than the born with. Something happens to inspire it, or there's a linchpin or jump off point that creates it. And most of our women have no idea what ambition looks like in their men because they don't know how to assess appropriately. And that's proof by all the dumpster fires that they have their children with.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. Okay. Because
she doesn't look at the, let me show that one more time. Look at that look. She doesn't even understand why it's a problem. This is what we got to look forward to. And this woman at the beginning talked about men don't earn enough money. Men don't earn enough. Black men don't earn enough money. Black men earn plenty. Black men out-earn our women. When you look at us on a collective level, when you look at us as a group, our women are behind. But guess what? It's okay that our women don't out-earn us. We're supposed to take care of them. So why are our women so goddamn focused on, because they're watching Atlanta Housewives of Dumpster Fire and thinking that's how life is supposed to be. They sit around all goddamn day, watch reruns of the fucking Young and the Restless, and watch all these characters take care of other people's kids and be besties with all the different baby daddies and think that shit's real life. I'm still here. They think that shit's real life. I'm going to play one more time. I'm going to play this one more time. Hold on. Where did I do with it? Here we go. I am going to, oh, Lord. What did I do? Hold on, y'all. I done did something wrong. Hold on. There we go. Teenager. Yeah, I'm accustomed to the struggle stream. I'm going to play this young man's story one more time to hit on the point. The birth of ambition.
Water, and they walked for hours to attend this graduation. This is 8th grade graduation that many teachers don't belong in a box, man. And like this young man is one of them. But here we go.
What does hope look like for you?
I mean, if you want something done, you gotta go ahead and do it yourself.
Xavier Jones is determined not to allow the obstacles in his path stop him from walking in his purpose.
What do you think is the biggest problem when it comes to, St. Louis and taking care of African American students like you?
The gun violence.
The 14-year-old lives in North City, and when he did not have a ride to his 8th grade promotion ceremony,
I was going to an adult, but my grandpa car is down, so yeah, I was just gonna walk there.
His grandpa car was down. He's an 8th grader, about to matriculate into high school. He's 2 hours away by foot from his graduation at Harris Stowe University in HBCU. Hot, black hoodie, and he walked. And I know those of us who are Generation X, that's nothing new for us. We grew up walking in thunderstorms. If you were in the north like I was, blizzards and crap because they didn't shut down the schools. We did that. That was just normal. But let's fast forward now. This ain't normal. And he walked through some of the most treacherous neighborhood, the most treacherous area in St. Louis, to attend a celebration that he matriculated into high school. And what he got to look forward to is some raggedy old broad with a bunch of babies when he's 27 or 30 and he's looking to start a family to call him not ambition because he decided to become a teacher. He got a scholarship to Harris Stowe. The Harris Stowe president gave him a scholarship to Harris Stowe. The number one thing that Harris Stowe University does, they turn out teachers. So if he attends Harris Stowe in 4 more years, it is very likely this young man is going to become a teacher. Somebody that Ebony K. Williams will turn her fucking nose up at as if he's doing something regular, like he's some ordinary little dude. Because this ordinary dude decided to take his education, his training, and reinvest it back into this dumpster fire of a town called St. Louis. When we got all these gremlins running around here keeping the damn, we talk about Chicago and all the demon seeds running around there holding the city hostage. We're not talking about the hostages that are happening here, what all the demon seeds happening here. I work in the emergency room. I'm so sick of seeing 19, 21-year-old corpses with holes in them. 4 to 5 of them a week. That's the birth of ambition. And Dr. Umar Johnson is going to want this young man to come clean up somebody else's mess. Fuck up out of here. Hold on a second, y'all. I'm just so fired up about this. I don't know what to do with myself.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Money talk. Here comes the money.
All right, Messy Michonne, boy, this woman is fucking fantastic over there on her Messy Michonne Live, her channel. I'm not gonna lie to you. Her and My Sexy is Strong, those are like my guilty pleasure channels. They really do. I know dudes ain't supposed to be into gossip and the tea and all that good stuff. But let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all like just a little bit of a story, okay? And don't, I hope y'all don't think nothing of me, but you know, I spent some time in jail. I spent about, and I'm saying it like, you know, I spent some hard time in jail, but I spent 7 days in jail. So I'm in a pod with none but brothers. You know what the number one issue amongst the men were in the jail? It was which soap opera to watch. General Hospital, Young and the Restless, Our Lives. There were fights over soap operas. So this narrative that men don't like no gossip, that's just not entirely true. We like the gossip, but we like to listen to it and watch it and stuff like that. But you know, we shouldn't be overly participating in that crap. You know, but that's right, Young and the goddamn Restless. Yep. So Messy Michonne, thank you for the $10 super sticker. But those two channels are my guilty pleasures. My Sexy is Strong, she's sitting up there, she's cooking, talking about her, you know, she's a personal trainer, and then she's got a cooking show, and she's talking about all the gossip and stuff. I'll be all up in their stuff, boy. And look, knowing I should be asleep because I work 12-hour overnights, and they be streaming during the times I'm supposed to be asleep, and then I'm going to work trying to save lives, and I'm barely can keep my eyes open because I'm up here trying to support my sisters. But anyways, thank you, Messy Michonne, for the $10 super sticker. I really appreciate it. But the birth, that's the birth of ambition. And down the line, some black girl is going to tell him you're not ambitious enough because you decided to become a teacher. The fuck we got to... You know, I need to stop cussing. This month I've been just on a cussing spree this entire month. I need to slow down because that ain't it's not a good look. It's not a good look. I just wanted to come on for a few minutes, and I wanted to talk about this young man, and I wanted to put a button on ambition. Ambition for a lot of men, you're either born with it or something happens. Something happens to inspire it, regardless. But this notion that we have in these baby mamas or these old, crotchety, mean-ass women who made some bad decisions, bad choices, they're in their 40s now, rolling to their 50s. Some of these chicks are rolling into their 60s talking this crap. That's what I should pull up, is all of the 60-year-old women still talking this nonsense. Trashing our brothers. Yes, we got some trash brothers out here, but they're not the majority of the brothers out here. They're just the majority of the brothers that our women are picking. Earlier in the stream, I said our women always talk about all these damn choices that they got. They got all of these choices. They don't lack for choices of men. But then ask them the other question. Of all of those so-called choices you got, which one of them do you actually want? And then when you ask them that question, and you want an answer, this is what you get. Hey, lady. Oh, so you not desperate for no man because you got a lot of men. There's always some man showing you attention or trying to get at you everywhere you go. You trying to get at which one of those men, of all of the attention that you got, which one of them do you want? Got him. So if your ass don't want them, what does it matter? What does it matter if you got options, if you don't want any of the men that want you? The hell are you talking about? What options? That's like having no options. I love ribs. I got 40 pounds of baby back. I don't. I got 40 pounds of baby back ribs on the grill, and I love ribs, but I don't go eat them. But I love ribs. I got options. What the hell does it matter if I don't go eat the ribs and my belly's and I'm hungry? I'm hungry because my belly empty, but I got 40 pounds of ribs on it. But I don't want the ribs because instead of them putting on Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, they put open pit barbecue sauce on it because I don't like open pit barbecue sauce. Then I'm just gonna sit here and go hungry. That's what our women do. They do dumb shit and say dumb shit. This young man,
to his grandfather, Xavier, came up with a plan.
I looked up Harris-Stowe University on Google Maps, and then I saw.
This brother looked up Harris-Stowe University on Google Maps and found a direction, plotted out his walking direction that took him 2 hours to do in the heat. Look at this young man. Hold on, let me put him up big. Sweatshirt, hoodie, backpack, uncut afro. It's okay, young man. And he walked 2 hours in the heat through a dangerous neighborhood because he knew it was a big deal that he was going into high school. He understood that life is transitioning for him. And he wanted to be a part of that. He didn't want to be left out of that memory. This young man, his name is Xavier. This is the birth of ambition. I am fearful of what this young man is going to have to deal with on a social market out here, dealing with our sisters, dealing with the girls in his class, in his generation of his era, and their parents are my fucking generation. Generation X, Gen Y, Millennial, my group, we should just be called the lost generation. We're so fucked up. And just imagine if we ain't got nothing to pick from and pull from, and these girls that he's gonna have to, they already at 12, 13 years old got attitude problems and stuff like that, wilding out in school, aggressive little hyena demon girls. Let's say if he does select Harris-Stowe, because they did offer him a scholarship. They offered him a scholarship before he took one high school course. All because this 8th grader had ambition. Something people like Ebony Case Williams don't know nothing about. And this young man is a young man that Dr. Umar Johnson wants to come in and rescue. And for what? For what? I'm getting up out of here, y'all. Yeah, I'm getting up out of here. I told you it was going to be a short stream today, so I apologize. I have a lot to get to because we got to talk about this whole Queen Mother Syndrome, and we're going to get with that when we talk about Dr. Umar. I'm going to try to get to you guys this Friday, okay? For those of you who joined in, let me see. I want to thank you guys. I'm going to go ahead and hit the outro and then just go ahead and thank you guys for joining us on the stream today. I appreciate it. And please hit the like button. I saw there was like 300 or something likes. I got 400 people, I think, watching. A couple people in the chat.
King. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king and I will never knew. Plotting for my fall, you getting hanged for treason. I don't aim to please, do anything I feel. Haters gonna talk, don't listen to the shit. They tryna be like me, they know they can, yo. Can't even get lost, I'm on a pedestal, sitting on my throne. My neck be decked in gold, I don't do no hoes, I've got a queen though. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you